Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 364. We're missing some people. Sean, I think, is, he might be running around in the street right now because I think the Knicks just won. So he's probably, the last time in the playoffs when somebody won at the end, he ripped his shirt off and ran down the street. So
yeah, they won 111 to 104.
Okay, well, it wasn't as close then. I think that might have been a game-winning shot when he did all that.
Yeah,
madness,
111 to 104. Although they couldn't hold Maxey. He scored 33 on him, dropped there. So that's going to be a problem because Embiid had 29, but he didn't shoot very well. So,
well, he's probably very excited. So
yeah,
there you go. You might see him in the chat pop up since the game just ended.
Yeah, it was a good team win by the Knicks. They had a lot of guys. They had 21 off the bench from McBride. So that's good.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Very good. Yeah, playoffs just started for basketball. So I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun for all the fans out there, but we do have a bunch of stuff to go over tonight. I do want to also point out MVG is out doing, I assume, NDA stuff. I don't know. Half the time he's like, I can't say where I am. So there you go. He's somewhere out there. So, and then Ryan is actually working on a pretty big project right now that's going to be on his channel in a bit. So we have there's some people out and about doing some things. Josie will be here for about an hour, and I think we're actually going to run for about that as well. Since we're a bit limited tonight, but I do want to go around here. We're going to start with Josie Woe.
Hello, I'm happy to be here. Glad to be back. Yeah, I don't know. I've been playing some retro games. That's about it.
Okay. That it's interesting you say that. Because I'm bringing something up later, actually, with that one in mind. Let me go over also to, we got OJ with the very nice, actually, that's a nice place now he's got back there.
Yeah, man. Ballin'. Got a piano. I don't feel like playing it today, though. You know?
Yeah, piano back there.
Yeah.
How do you pick that like stock image where you just like the pianos? That makes it.
Whoa,
for me.
you're breaking the fourth wall here.
Sorry. I didn't know if it was the green outline around him. Sorry.
Next picture just has to be you in the piano.
On top of the piano
all the time. Green screen's undefeated in the streaming world. Yeah, it comes through. How you doing tonight, OJ?
I'm doing good. It's been pretty interesting week overall. A lot of stuff that's been happening in terms of getting ready for like the summer stuff. So it should be fun. Monday, big presentation on Monday for Metaphor Refantasio. So excited for that. So just kind of getting ready.
Yep, getting ready for the summertime. It's a lot of fun gaming stuff happening there.
It's warming up, man. It's warming. It's getting hot in my area.
Is it?
Yeah, it's getting hot.
Getting warmer here. We're not quite to hot territory, but it's getting warmer. It's getting like the
50
70s
tomorrow or something.
Oh, well, there you go. Never mind.
Right now it's
Not
80.
here.
It's
Yeah,
83.
same.
It's 83 right now.
You can keep that shit. I don't want.
And then, of course, we have Evan. Evan is here with us tonight as well. Back from his tournament.
Yep.
After his tournament. How'd you do anyway? Did you win?
2-1. So.
Oh, okay. That's pretty
win
good.
the whole thing, but did all right.
Oh, okay. Good stuff. All right, cool. So, like I said, tonight we're going to be going over Nintendo skipping Gamescom. We got that Delta iPhone emulator that took over, which Josie actually has an emulator. Or she has an iPhone that could play the emulator.
Yes.
I don't know if you downloaded it and tried it, but I am curious if anyone around you has done it, because I feel like this is a conversation starter for the iPhone people.
A lot of my friends have, which is funny because they're not that into like actual, like they don't, most of them don't have Switches, but they like grew up with the DS and stuff. So they got really excited that the fact that it was here, and a bunch of them downloaded it and sort of showed them what to do and stuff, and playing their old games. They're pretty excited about it.
Okay. And then we have the PlayStation PC trophies happening. We got Indie World took place. So a bunch to go over tonight. I do, of course, want to shout out the Patreon. You guys did Game and Talk this week, right, Josie?
We did. It was a great episode. You guys should check it out. Celia's on there. So if you like Celia, she makes occasional appearances over here. She's always on Game and Talk. So pull through.
Yeah, she's like she just comes by Game and Talk every week now, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. It was funny how it occurred. They just had her on, and then she wanted to come back. So it's been really fun. And now we've got a balanced ratio, 50-50, you know? It's powerful.
Sean knows about that. I do want to shout out some of the producers over on the Spawncast Network: Trent A, Justin Maverick, Husail. Shout out to Justin, the Game Orb, Mr. Joby, Joshua Butts, and John O. Check it out over there. MEG and I did our Final Fantasy VII discussions after we completed it, and there's actually a Ask a Developer episode up there as well. And apparently, I heard that Game and Talk might be trying to do another show at some point. Some
Yes.
extra content in there. So
Yeah.
there's some stuff in the pipeline. But shout out to all the members over there for the support. Let me start. We're going to start real quick with Nintendo skipping Gamescom, since this did make quite a few headlines, since Gamescom is in August. So we're looking towards obviously the fourth quarter of this year heading into that. But apparently Nintendo is not going to be attending Gamescom. It is a very large trade show. Hundreds of thousands of people converge in Germany every year for this. If you remember, last time is where we got the rumors that Nintendo was there with Target spec hardware for the next device, showed off things apparently like The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild with no load times, the Matrix Awakens demo running on this hardware. But this year, not so much. And that concerned some people, but then also got some people thinking that maybe Nintendo has some other plans around that time period. So is this something to be concerned about, or something to actually maybe even get excited about?
On Game and Talk, we talked about how it's almost meaningless, but I don't know. That was Sean's opinion. I'm not super aware of what this could mean because I have no clue. But yeah.
Okay. They seem excited. They seem excited about this.
That was the take, Josie. I like it. I don't know how to follow. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it really means too much. You said it was so last year, August. I don't know.
It was just like the second week of August, I think.
Second week. Yeah, I don't really think it means too much, to be honest. Yeah, they'll do. Sometimes Nintendo skips stuff. Sometimes they go to things. It's just kind of random. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I don't know if I really looked at Gamescom as a Nintendo kind of event anyway. But third parties obviously show up there with Nintendo stuff as it is. So if anything, they would be the ones that would. I'm sure they'd hope that there'd be something they can announce there at that time for their games to try to target that first year, since Nintendo's first year is going to be pretty strong, I think, for third parties this time around, as opposed to the Switch coming off the Wii U. So I feel like every trade show, once that gets announced, is going to be really big for third parties. And Gamescom would probably be one of them, but we don't know when Nintendo's going to do that. So maybe this Gamescom situation plays into it with the idea that they might have their own event, they might have their own trailer or something, and it doesn't make sense to go to Gamescom if maybe 3 weeks later they're going to run a trailer and reveal a thing anyway, so they just have nothing to be there with.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, some people were saying, oh, that means they're not going to have this. And I'm like, guys, they're getting ready for like the next Switch or whatever, like they're going to do it on their own terms. I remember before the Switch and Directs really took off, people used to always say, if Nintendo's not at this event, this live event and this type of thing, it's going to be a problem. And then when Directs took off, that kind of like vanished. So it kind of reminds me of like that type of thought process. Like, they don't have to go to any of those things. Like, they don't have to be at they don't have to show their next system at E3. That used to be the big thing. You got to show it at E3, otherwise it's a problem. Like you don't really. The Switch was not at E3. Leading up to its launch, they had their own event for it, and it did just fine. So that's kind of how I feel like with Gamescom. I mean, if they're there, cool. But if not, then that's fine. They'll show off whatever they want to show when they feel like it. Obviously at this point.
I was a little surprised it made so many headlines. That was the thing that caught me off guard a bit. Like, their headlines were all over the place about it, and it just seemed, I don't know, like a pretty small story. But I
Sean was adamant that it was BS. He was like, really.
Yeah, like
on that.
A lot of these publications had a headline for it. It was very interesting to see how much discussion came out of that. But I feel like at this point, there's just a lot of pent up demand for Nintendo to eventually announce this thing anyway, and everyone's just like, okay, putting the puzzle piece together when they might not exist. But that's a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing for a company like that, because they know that whenever they make the announcement, it's obviously it's gonna be big online.
Yeah.
So let me go over here, Josie. You started talking about the Delta emulator a little bit there. I don't have an iPhone. I don't have an iPad, so I unfortunately can't necessarily comment on playing it on iPhone or something. I have a MacBook, and that's how. And actually, I have an Apple TV as well. That's how I was playing those arcade games, which we actually did crossplay on the Apple Arcade. If you remember, you used your iPhone. I used the TV, and that was pretty cool.
That TMNT game is now on Switch.
Yep. We'll get to that. And I saw that. I was like, oh, Josie and I already played that game.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But this emulator, the thing that I've noticed, okay, in iPhone land, iPad land, is people are really excited for this thing, even though it's something that Android users have had for a long time. This is a big deal, seemingly, for these iPhone people, iPhone owners.
Yeah. I think it is just because, like, hypothetically, if you ever wanted to do this before, it was like a pain. Like, it was like crazy. You had to jailbreak your phone, and it half the time would like break your phone, and you wouldn't, be able to use it the same, and all that. It would come with a slew of issues. So I think just the fact that it's finally a thing that is, widely available is really exciting. And I think what this emulator targets is like, for at least a lot of iPhone people that I've talked to, is the idea of DS. And it's like a really good age group right now to target with that, because we're all turning, like, we're all like 20 to 25 or something, like finally understanding, how emulators might work and stuff like that. So like I said, like I have a bunch of friends who are not very into gaming and like they don't do it anymore, but they had a DS and they had all these games, so they'd like to relive that nostalgia and stuff. And so it's been really cool. I mean, the other thing is though, is like it's always really cool, and then you realize everything is digital buttons or like pretend buttons, which all suck, like every
No.
time. So
yeah, they kind of do. I guess people have like the controllers and stuff they sync up, but then it's like, well, it's not spur of the moment to have your phone on you when you have to wait for like 10 minutes. But I guess if you're playing, everyone was showing Pokemon. That was the big one.
Yeah,
like,
and that
I'm
one's
playing-
pretty. I mean, as long as you're not playing like a platformer, like I'd imagine a platformer would be pretty brutal. But yeah, something that doesn't require too much precision controller wise, I think is totally cool and fine. But yeah, I don't know. It's just exciting. I think it's just a whole new world of stuff for Apple users who have never really had that ability. And there's tons of Apple users, so.
Oh yeah, last year they sold 235 million iPhones.
Yeah, that's
1 year.
Yeah, that's 234 million people who haven't checked out an emulator on their phones, most likely. So.
Well, yeah, if you're locked into that ecosystem, jailbreaking. I remember I feel like that was pretty easy back in the day. I'm talking like iPhone 4 and stuff, like a long time ago. I haven't looked into jailbreaking recently because you used to have to do jailbreaking for SIM swaps and all kinds of craziness back then. We'd go through that,
international phone stuff like that.
It was a whole thing. But I don't know how that's altered now. However, I feel like I don't hear about people jailbreaking their stuff as much as they used to.
Yeah, I worked at a tech company, like when we like repaired phones and stuff and computers and all that kind of fun stuff. But there was one person and they just broke their phone and the battery life got shot somehow. I don't know what happened, but I think the limiter on how much battery consumption is, I don't know, something happened and we had to completely replace the battery because of that and like reset their phone entirely. They lost everything so we could get it fixed from them jailbreaking. That was like in 2018. So yeah, it's quite the process, I guess.
28, what is it? Child labor? 2018. What?
I was 16.
There you go.
Oh, okay. My bad. Like, damn.
The one that I'm actually interested in is called, it's an emulator. Well, it's an emulation collection, I guess, of all these different emulators, like this front end called Provenance, because it is going to be released officially on the Apple TV in a couple of weeks. They've already kind of talked about that in an interview, the people behind that, because it seems like Apple's cool with these emulators. Like, we were kind of unsure, and I mean, they seem fine with it as long as they're not ripping off other emulators, which seems to be very popular right now. You take an emulator that exists as open source, you put some ads on it, and you put some tracking for user data, and you just drop it on the store. And if you can get it past Apple, I'm sure a couple thousand people will download it. But that seems to be happening. However, Provenance on Apple, these Apple TVs are actually pretty good in terms of their specs for something like this. And they're not expensive, and they put out 4K. I almost wonder if that would actually be a really cool little emulation box to pick up if this emulation front end gets out there and it's just officially approved in the store. You just download it and you're good to go. So that's the one I'm really keeping an eye on right now. You can sync up all different controllers to, like, you sync up a PlayStation controller to the thing and go.
Yeah,
so
that looks really cool too, because then you can like actually play it on your TV and stuff, which is I think why a lot of people don't really care for emulation too much, because it's not like that home console experience, but it could potentially be that now.
If they can get GameCube on that'd be pretty sick. I'd be okay with that. I would check that out. But yeah, that's one I'm going to keep an eye on, because I will load that up on my Apple TV 4K and try it out then. Those things are like, I've seen those things down almost $100 a couple of times recently. So
Yeah,
There's
Black
fun.
Friday they go kind of crazy.
Yeah, so if the emulation's good on it, that actually might be a solid recommendation there. But I think this is like, people have wondered if Nintendo's going to do it. I don't think Nintendo can really do much with it. I think they're just gonna, they don't do anything with it to the Play Store. I think they're just gonna kind of watch it happen and be like, well, there you go.
I mean, and if
we're
they
gonna play
come
the
after
games.
a company, I think Apple's probably the best company to go head to head a little bit, you know?
Well, I mean, yeah, Apple's significantly larger than Nintendo technically in terms of like just
Yeah,
market cap valuation.
so-
They're very large, but
That's not a good company to go after. Apple?
No,
In
yeah,
court?
that's what I'm saying. Like,
No.
yeah,
Okay.
court-wise, like,
Well, the way
exactly,
that you said it sounded like you meant it's if you were going to go after a company. My bad.
You mean if
maybe I
someone's going to
misheard it.
stand up? You mean someone's
Yeah,
going
I'm
to
saying
stand up to
if
Nintendo?
somebody's gonna stand up what
okay,
Nintendo's doing with taking down the emulators and stuff, like Apple is the company to do that. You know, I guess maybe Amazon too, but like the big tech giants work.
Right? Yeah, you were saying like really big companies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to watch this because I think it's gonna just continue to probably evolve from here with more and more emulators. But I do wonder. I actually wondered if Nintendo, if one of their thoughts in the future, maybe with their DNA partnership, was to try their own take at maybe trying some of their legacy games in a front end setup, kind of like what we have with NSO, where you don't actually buy the games, you subscribe to the service and you can then just play them on your phone or your iPad. So they don't technically move anything new to it, but they just have their old legacy stuff there. That seems like you get millions of subscriptions overnight if they ever wanted to go that route.
Yeah, like if Nintendo did that.
Yeah, that's because I'm seeing the reaction now to just a free emulator where you got to go through a bunch of other stuff to make it work. And even then it's like, this kind of works. It's cool. But like, if you had something that was specifically
Official.
designed with a curated list and it absolutely worked on these different iPhones, resolutions weren't weird, and it tied into your NSO on your Switch and cloud saves went between them. And
That would
it
go
seems like-
insane because people without a Switch would probably even buy it.
yeah,
Especially if you're getting
like
like DS on there and stuff like that. That'd be really cool.
yeah, they'd probably still charge like 60 or 70 a year, but for iPhone users who, well,
Yeah, they
I mean, Apple
they
sold
pay
them
that in
$400
Apple Care
wheels at
per
one
month,
point.
so it's
Yeah.
fine.
So I do wonder if that's something Nintendo's looked at or thought about, because the reaction to this emulator would just justify that thought at this point from what we're seeing online, because it's kind of wild how an emulator is like blowing up like this online. But
Yeah.
people like it. Man, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Let me take a look. We had a few chats here. This is from Nick Robbins, who says, how many of the cast will be going to Too Many Games in PA in June? And will Sir Nintendo go past the gas station to be at Too Many Games as well? Sean swears this is the year. He is going this year. He said it multiple times. He's promised many people. I am 90% sure he will go, barring some crazy event or something.
He's claimed he's going by train, and Rax even said that he'd just drive him there if he needed to. So we'll see what's up.
So Sir Nintendo should be there. I will be going there. I don't know if Evan's making the trip out there or not. Sometimes he likes to go just to see any vendors or anything. Sometimes Evan used to actually go there to sell like artwork and stuff for a while too.
I don't know if that one, but ones that happen there. I don't have anything that month. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, Evan might stop by. Depending on OJ. OJ's had a lot of stuff going on. We're not going to hold him to it if he can make the trip. Cool, but it's not a huge deal because he's been quite busy. OJ.
Yeah, I've been busy. I'm trying to see if I can go though. Like I've already tried to.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I can make some time to go out there between people challenging me to fight over there and all sorts of stuff. So
I'll fight you.
Hey, look, man. Listen, those people saying they're going to fight me. I said I'll be there if I get I said 5K, 5 to 10K. You want to fight? I'll be there. So if I get one of those to actually go,
call Keemstar.
yeah. If I get there,
Get
if
him
I
on
can
this.
actually get someone to go through, because I need 25 deposit. I'll be there. I'll show up for 100%. But I need 2,500 right now. So I'll try. I'll try to be there, though, guys.
Josie is going though.
Yes, I'm
Josie
excited.
will be there. Yes,
I'm so hyped.
you'd be on the East Coast, so it'll be fun. Too Many Games will be a good time, and then also Ryan will be going. Mr. Ryan, he'll be there, and I think Bob Wolf will be there. Wood will probably go. Just trying to think of the people off the top of my head that most likely will be there as well. But there will actually be a lot of people there this year, so it should be a lot of fun. It's be good. Good time. Let's see. This is from the Casual Noob Gamer. Says, RGT, I watched Knicks and now I'm here. Why are you not here? That's a good question to ask him.
Catch him on Game and Talk.
Oh, there you go. Chris says, I guarantee that Nintendo will do what they want. They will do what they want. Dark Type says, so can we all agree that Silk Song is going to be a Switch 2 title now, along with Metroid Prime 4? I think so. I think Silk Song is going to be on the Switch you have now. They're going for that.
Yeah.
There's so many people who have a Switch. I don't think that game would be like, I don't think I'd have a hard time running on or anything.
I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a Switch 2 title only. I think it's going to be, cross-gen.
Cross-gen, yeah.
And do you think one or both of them will be 30 frames regular Switch, 60 on Switch 2?
Metroid, I feel like Metroid Prime can't be anything but 60 just from how it's always been. It's always been 60. So I feel like that. Silk Song, I don't know. I feel like Silk Song has to be 60 also.
Yeah, it would be 60. I don't see it.
Now you could say resolution, Evan, because then I don't know. The Metroid Prime 4's resolution might get a little crazy on the current Switch.
480, 360.
On the Switch 2, I think that's where retro will really get a chance to shine. Is we can use ray tracing and all this other cool stuff. Yeah, we'll do that too. So I think Silk Song will be on the current Switch, 60 frames at 720p or something like that, maybe if they need to. But I think it'll be there. Chris says Nintendo is skipping Gamescom because they're focused on making the next JRPG for OJ. Anyways, how's everybody's doing tonight? Shout out Chris. Let's see this from Andy, who says, hey fellas, hi lady, hope you're all doing well. Thank you, Andy. And Michael says, for whatever reason, my local Walmart had a physical copy of Metroid Dread for $20. I picked it up. Not sure why it was on sale. Walmart was doing some weird stuff this past week, apparently.
They were I got Diablo 4 for $20 as well. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
That's still a good deal though,
$20, man.
Walmart put a lot of games on sale out of nowhere. Like they had these stickers and clearance items. It was, I don't know what that was about. It was regional too. So it's like stock overflow maybe in certain areas. Not sure.
Dread for 20 is insane though. So congrats on that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these, they realize the shipping, like let's say they want to take some of the games and send them back to the warehouse or ship them to another store, probably more than just discounting them a certain amount and selling it. And so it's like, just go ahead and just move out off of these so we can restock other stuff. Let's go over to, this is a good one for Evan, actually. I'm curious. PlayStation trophies on PC.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
Evan, your time has come.
They're coming to. I don't even pay attention to the achievements on Steam.
Like, that's what I was gonna ask you. If like,
smart man.
I'm curious how primary PC gamers feel about like the achievements that they throw at you, because there are Steam achievements. Now Sony is showing up with trophy support. The idea with Ghost of Tsushima is you can have a button combination. I think it's like Alt or Shift F1 basically, and it has an overlay that comes up, and you can see the trophies that you earn, which go between PC and PlayStation. So if you earn them on PlayStation, it'll work. It's just attached to your account.
For trophies, do they show you the percentage of people who've earned them, or just that you have them?
You can usually look them up on a web. I think there's a website that does that specifically, that you can look it up per game.
That's probably the only cool thing about the achievements, is determining of the people who purchase games, what's the percentage of people who beat them? Because there's usually just an achievement for winning, and it's usually like 3%, which is. I mean,
great. when you unlock a trophy, it will give you like a kind of like a little percentage. I think Xbox does that as well with their achievements. But for titles themselves, people will go online and they give you more information on, I think it's like, I know for Xbox, there's like True Achievements, and there's one for Sony as well, who are like really into the trophy hunting stuff. Like Ryan would obviously be able to give us a real indication of that now, because I think he actually tracks that quite a bit. But I was just curious, Evan, if you're someone who do you look at the achievement list on PC games when you get it?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's actually a lot of games that come out on Steam as well where the achievements are hidden for spoiler reasons. Like they just hide the achievements so you can't even know what they are. I think the only games I've ever liked achievements in were games where the achievements turned into something. Like DC Universe Online, the achievements were how you got more stats in games.
You got more
so you had to do achievements, which was great. But otherwise, I don't give a shit.
Interesting. Like, so you because you like the idea of the achievements interacting with you in some way in a game. So like you get something for it in the. What if you got something while we're talking about these trophies, right? There's little icons, but on Steam you get stuff for your account, right? Like stickers or what get like cosmetic items, kind of, right?
The
idea.
there's so much. There's the cards that unlock freaking emotes that you can then sell on the storefront. Like there's so much you can do, but I don't think achievements really tie to that much. Achievements are just kind of their own thing.
Yeah, so well, in this case, trophies will be there. So I guess the idea would be if you're on PlayStation, you don't have to worry about buying the PC version and missing out on your trophies. If people are really, really, really into trophies, like
Oh yeah.
Ryan, for example, he's not here to defend himself. Okay, he has an account that he keeps just so it's 100% platinum trophies.
I feel like that's more a console thing. Like that's a console culture thing, is needing that.
I mean, it's impressive because you see his account and it's just all platinums. It's like, okay, but he won't but if you start a game and you don't get the platinum, it like messes the list up. So that's why he has it that way. I tell you, he's not here to next time he's here, he can explain himself on it.
That definitely sounds like anti-girlfriend type of stuff, but I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's that's fine. It's his job too, though. So, he
does do the like the 30 platinums in 30 days. I think that's the account he uses for it, where he tries to get as many platinum trophies as he can in a month, basically, for a video. So I think that's the account that's been racking up these platinum trophies. But obviously it's a Sony trying to connect their ecosystem to PC for PlayStation. I'm just curious if people so when you look at a game, if you're on PlayStation, people in the chat can let me know. Do you bring trophies into the equation? Like, do I want to get this on? If Helldivers 2, great example. Helldivers 2 comes out. It's on Steam. It's on PlayStation. The PlayStation version runs worse than the PC version. Do you then still get the PlayStation version because of the trophies? That's the thing I'm curious about for people.
I mean, that's just straight up the cultural.
If it's just the trophy that really brings you over, because I understand the couch experience of like I want to sit in front of TV and play it, and like that's fine. But I'm curious if you're sitting there and you're looking at both, you're like trophies. If Sony is thinking we need to get this done, because that's kind of what's happening. We're getting an overlay trophies. See, the problem is no one here really cares about trophies.
Yeah, I don't care at all.
I mean, I'll be. I used to before the girlfriend, before the wife.
No,
I legit I don't care. I used to do trophy hunting, but after kids, after you played so many games, you hunted so many trophies. It's like it becomes just a time sink that you don't really have that time. I used to have that time, and when I did, I'd be trophy. I'd be doing like achievements and all that type of stuff. I always used to do that, but I mean, not anymore, man. Like,
I feel like to a degree, some games just give you the trophies, right? Like you just play through every chapter. Here's your trophy. There's your platinum.
A few. I mean, there's some where they obviously put it out there as like, here's an easy platinum game, and people will be like, okay, I'll get that.
Yeah, that feels a little diminishing to the games that are like, let's make this really serious.
The platinum trophies that I like are the games that basically, if you just play the game and occasionally do stuff here and there, like maybe there's a battle arena and it's like, oh, okay, I go through all the battles, I get a trophy, but you just play the game, you don't do anything weird, and then at the end of it, you might be missing one or two trophies that are like easy enough to get. Those are the ones I like. Like Ratchet and Clank was very much that. Whereas you get a game and it does some crazy weird stuff to get the last 10 trophies. It'll take you another 50 hours. Like, I think I'm good. I think I'm okay. So I'd like to see more of those trophies. Like Insomniac is pretty good about like their platinum being, I would say, more respectful of your time. Spider-Man 2 is the same way. I actually got the platinum in that and it wasn't bad at all. I got to the end of it and I needed like 2 trophies. Like, well, I want to see these last 2 storylines because they tied a lot of storylines to the side quests. So I was like, I want to see these anyway, so I'll do that.
Yeah, I've never platinumed anything in my life except for Miles Morales. It was just
so yeah. You just really like the game, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Did you play Ratchet and Clank yet?
I did. I actually haven't beaten it. I'm literally at the boss. I just need to beat it. So I'm right.
You should check to see when you beat the boss. You should see how many trophies you have, because I guarantee you're going to look at it and be like, oh, I have like 90% of the trophies. So
yeah,
that was Insomniac's pretty good about that. I will give them credit on that.
They need to do more. Like if the trophies actually did something, then I'd probably be more interested in like
the stuff I was talking about. Yeah, I think even at one point in time, Ubisoft's achievements through PC Launcher let you buy like in-game cosmetics and things.
Yeah. There was some like Xbox 360 achievements that let you like unlock avatar items.
Oh, I remember those.
Those were cool.
Yeah, that's cool. or even like achievements, even like some games. I know for me, like Astral Chain, there was like in-game achievements, not obviously system-wide, but those achievements actually gave you upgrade like points and like certain like customization options for your legions. Those are the type of cool stuff. But I'm just arbitrarily just doing things like Fallout New Vegas. It's like heal yourself a bazillion times with stem packs. Like, so if you suck, you gotta suck because you gotta heal yourself all the time. You know, it's like stupid achievements like that I'm just like, I don't need to do all this dumb stuff like beat 5 million enemies in a row. Or I know like Prototype. I platinum Prototype, and that was like kill a bazillion enemies, and the game doesn't even have you like kill that many enemies in the game. You have to just do random stuff and just
you have to go
repeat,
in the old one. You had to go to like a 5-star basically GTA rating and just keep killing and don't
just
stop
that's what I did.
Hours.
And I literally just farmed that, and that's when I realized like achievements or like trophies and achievements are dumb. Like that's when I stopped. It was right after that and like Vanquish, that game Vanquish, and I just said I'm done with it. This is just a time sink, and I'm a loser right now. I need to do something with my life. So that's why I just said I'm done.
If somebody showed me their collection of only platinum trophies, I'd be pretty impressed as a girl.
Their digital shelf of digital
I'd be
trophies.
Ryan's onto something.
Hey, Ryan has it.
Guys, do not listen to her. Guys, do not listen to her. Do not listen to her.
I like it.
Don't listen to her, guys. It's a setup.
Setting up
It
red
shows
flags
commitment.
everywhere.
No, it shows commitment. That's what we need.
Shut up.
Yeah, see? There you go.
You ain't gonna walk away with somebody that looks like Josie. Trust me, that's gonna be significantly worse.
Oh man.
It's gonna be significantly worse. Don't do it, guys. I'm telling you.
I will say the achievement system, I wouldn't mind seeing them try to figure out something with that. Maybe take it to the next step, just try to evolve it somewhat, because it has been kind of stale for a while. Trophies and like just figuring out something they can do with that to add more value there rather than just get a little trophy or a little.
A lot of that's
points.
more on the developers though, because I mean, what are you gonna do? You get animated stickers for emotes. Well, that's on the developer to make those and put those.
Well,
out
it's
there.
interesting because developers seem to both like and then also despise achievements because you have to come up with them. But then on the other end, there's a chance that people are going to just play your game longer than they should just to get these achievements. So it's like, okay, you have that carrot on the stick that's just baked in, but do I really feel like coming up with 50 different things they have to do and design it in? So that's, I get what Sony's doing with the PC side of things. Evan, are you thinking about Ghost of Tsushima at all? You going to check it out? Okay.
No, I've watched enough of it. I've basically played it.
I liked the game. It was good. I liked it.
It looked all right.
Well, if it ends up being on sale at some point, Evan, for $20, I recommend it. As I know you liked
if there's
the good old
literally
Tenchu
nothing
and the samurai games. There you go.
If there's nothing else new coming up, if there's nothing fresh or just different, I might think about it.
Oh, there you go, Evan. We'll get your thoughts on it next year. Let's move over. We'll talk about Indie World here. I have a list of all of the games. It did run for about 20 minutes, just like they said. And I was trying to take the temperature in the room on this one. People seemed, I guess, kind of just in the middle on it. It was kind of lukewarm. What'd you guys think of this presentation before we go line by line for it?
Actually, I kind of wish Sean was here for it.
Why? Because of
that opener, immediate. It was great.
That game doesn't look that bad. I think it was pretty okay. I think it was. I don't know what people expect from Indie Worlds. It shocks me every time how mad people are. They're always mid. So
I need Zelda. I need Metroid.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want?
Silksong 1, 2, and 3.
The thing is, every time they go, hey, there's a new Indie World, Sean immediately throws the joke into the universe of, man, farming sims and cat games. And the opener is a cat game. It's just like, all right.
There were no farming sims. I honestly think this is a pretty good one. There's no farming sims. And there was Bizd looked really cool. I don't know if you saw that. That looked freaking rad. Yes. It's like a...
It's part of the sizzle reel.
Yeah, it was a sizzle reel, yeah. Which I missed it because I think I was looking at my phone when I was...
Oh, man. There's OJ's great.
No, it's... But I don't
jokes.
I don't expect Indie Worlds to be... I don't understand why people freak out about Indie Worlds. They're supposed to show you weirdo type of games that aren't that's the
weirdo
whole
games.
Weirdo
games for weirdo people, I guess.
Yeah, listen, people like weirdo cat simulator. People out here hyping up Stray as if it's like some game of the year stuff. So people, if that game can get a game of the year nomination,
it was a game of the year nominee.
completely bullshit. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. But so people love cat games. Look, a cat game got into Game of the Year, so I can understand why people make cat games. I can understand why people make all these weird. There's a sticker game. That's exactly what indie world is about. It's about weird games that aren't normal. They're different. So I don't know what people are expecting. Maybe they're expecting all Metroidvania type of games or all like super action. That's not what indie world's about. It's about a variety of different types of weird.
Well, let's go through these. Let's go through the weird games here. Let's see. We have Little Kitty, Big City, May 9th. So in 2 weeks,
I'll be getting it. I think it's super funny. I don't even like cats. I'm like severely allergic to them, but I think it looks fun. No, like literally, I will have an asthma attack and have to get rushed to the hospital. It's not okay.
Oh my gosh!
That's the thumbnail. You like choking while playing the game, and like, I suffered through this.
Little Kitty almost dead.
Little Kitty, Big City killed me.
I mean, it looks like a platforming adventure game. Okay, sure. I mean, again, obviously, if any of the cat lovers out there probably already pre-ordered it, I'm sure.
I kind of get Goose Game vibes from it when they were talking about it. It was like you go around, you kind of cause mischief as a cat.
People were talking about, yeah, my chat Goose Game type of vibes.
I like it. I think Goose Game's really fun and dumb, so same kind of vibe.
Let me add Yars Rising. This is WayForward and Atari somehow continuing the Yars franchise, which is interesting.
We had beams out of her hands.
And it looks like a weird Metroid Dread clone.
Yeah, did it look really jank to anyone else?
It did, yes. WayForward games, it looked like Contra, kind of like the jank that Contra has. It kind of looked like that.
Okay. Okay.
The new Contra game.
Their Pixar alt styles are always really good though. Like the River City Girls.
She did a Kamehameha. Yeah. She did it was like a Dragon Ball Z reference.
We had Refined Self personality test game.
Celia's getting that one. She's really excited for it.
Really?
I don't remember what it is.
Oh, it's interesting.
It's like the really artsy looking one at the very beginning. I don't know. It seems all right.
Sticky Business. You run a sticker business. The game and the downloadable content is out now.
Super cozy.
I think Mandy said that she was excited about that one. So shout out to Mandy.
It's interesting. So they actually announced downloadable content day one with it?
Yeah. That's what I thought was fun. I was like, well, y'all, Indie World download deals? I'm like, what's going on? What are we doing here?
That seems a little strange. That one, I heard that. I was like, oh, really? That's odd. Okay. But I mean, it's a unique idea. You run a sticker business. So there you go. They're going to hit you with the DLC, I guess. It's out now. So Anton Blast. I have no idea what I saw in this trailer, but it actually looked pretty cool. November 12th. I played it. The demo out now. How was it?
I think I'm too old. There's too many things exploding, and it's just too. It's like Pizza Tower. You ever seen Pizza Tower?
Yeah, it looked exactly like Pizza Tower.
Yeah, it's like that, and those type of games.
Devs, it actually looks so close.
It's not the same dev because Celia knows this dev or something.
Yeah. There's just too much kind of going on, but it's cool though. It runs good and it has good controls, and there's a lot of variety. It's like if you like Wario games too. Like I think maybe if you like those, you might like it. So yeah, there's a demo on the eShop, but yeah, it's all right.
We had Valley Peaks. Let's see. Then we had Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. That's out in about 4 weeks. May 16th. Europa. Okay, so this one caught me off guard a bit. It looked really good visually. There's a demo out now. I haven't downloaded it and played it like just on the Switch like natively, but at least visually speaking, I thought it looked pretty good for being on the indie title on the Switch. It kind of had like the art style, very colorful. It's like going to be a big adventure game. So
yeah, the Breath of the Wild vibes, sort of.
I was gonna say that. I was like, yeah, okay, we go with that one, Breath of the Wild vibes. But the next title, I was really excited to see here, TMNT Splintered Fate. I mentioned this before. Josie and I played this one. It was crossplay. I played on the Apple TV, and she played on her iPhone, I believe. Yep. And it worked pretty well. And finally, it's coming off of Apple Arcade exclusivity. So it's technically there now. Like you can still play it, I believe. And it's not going to be locked down anymore there, which does give me hope for the Platinum Games title that got delisted. Maybe it comes back around at some point in one of these. and it just gets dropped on the Switch or something. But Splintered Fate is a cool game. It's Hades mixed with Ninja Turtles, and I recommend it. It's in July, so a couple months.
It looked cool. I want to check it out for sure.
It has 4-player online.
Well, Spawncast plays.
See, there you go. You can play OJ. You can even play it on stream randomly. It's drop in, drop out. Actually, it was really cool.
Yeah.
So jump right in, do a couple runs. So you just do runs through the game. There's a full story that goes along with it. You run into some pretty good bosses, and you build up your characters the whole time. So you'll be like leveling and buying different things back at your lair. And there was a lot going on too. There's a ton of upgrades in that game. So a lot of content there. And the nice thing, I guess, with Apple Arcade is if it was built exclusively for the Apple Arcade, not added in after it was made for mobile devices, they couldn't make the games with microtransactions in mind. So it shouldn't be a game that shows up and you can kind of tell where the microtransactions would go. So this should just be a full-fledged release on the Switch. And I'm thinking, I didn't see what the price was. I don't know if anyone's
I don't know
on.
if they showed the price.
If it's like a $20 or $25 game, I think it's an easy pickup right away. So, let's see, we had Stitch. It's a game about embroidery. It's out now. All right. Sizzle Reel. We have Josie's title, BZZZT.
Bzzzt. I'm hyped.
Okay. What did you see
It
that
looked
you liked?
Proper amount of z in that title, or
It looks kind of like Mega Man platformy-esque to me, and I really like the art style, and there weren't a lot of platformers, at least like 2D platformers like that in this presentation, I thought, so that got me pretty excited.
Okay. We had Shim. It's with a lowercase I. It's July 18th. Animal Well, May 9th. People seem pretty excited for Animal Well, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool. I mean, I think it's because it's backed by Donkey, so it's just like quality assured, you know?
Well, it's May 9th, so what, 2.5 weeks from now? 3 weeks it'll be out?
Yeah.
Duck
definitely
Detective.
check that one out.
You are a duck who's a detective.
I like that.
May 23rd.
I like ducks. And I like
There you
detective
go.
mysteries.
when all you expect are cat games, the Sidewinder is the duck.
Finally a duck. A duck finally gets its day. Let's go.
Out 1 month from now. Then we have another Crab's Treasure, April 25th. So that's actually this week it'll be out. It'll also be on Game Pass. I think we talked about that, Josie, right? Yeah.
We did.
That'll be on Switch. It'll be on Game Pass. So it's making the rounds. Interesting title. Souls-like game where you play as a crab.
Looks
see how that
good
turns
art
out.
style.
Okay. Then the closeout was not Silk Song. It was Steam World Heist 2. Looks much more in depth for character customization, and it's out August 8th. So second half of this year. And I like Steam World Heist. So Steam World Heist 2 looked like they're building off of it. I feel like I'm going to like that one too.
I love that art style. I think it's so pretty.
I like the
It is.
steampunk.
The cutout painting.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I was hoping maybe for SteamWorld Dig 3, but SteamWorld Heist is great. SteamWorld Heist 2 is great, but SteamWorld Dig is awesome. And I'm wondering when they're going to actually have the next one, because SteamWorld Dig 2 is really good. And I thought maybe it'd be here, but it wasn't.
I feel like the reason a lot of people looked at this and were kind of you could say underwhelmed, wasn't feeling it, was because Silk Song was going to loom over any of these events until it finally gets announced and finally comes out, like in terms of release date. So it's just always going to be that cloud that follows these indie presentations, the directs. At this point, Microsoft's event, because they also had it there at one point. That's just the way it is. So I'm hoping in the next 2 months, they will have it announced for release date and it'll be out by the end of this year. So that is my hope. But overall, I think it was a bad presentation. It was 17 games in 20 minutes. There's a lot of stuff happening. Very unique titles.
Yeah.
Some even
I
tried
thought it was
DLC
pretty
day
well
one.
paced.
So. Yeah, so I had it like a B- or something, somewhere in there. So
Yeah.
was,
I give it like
I
a
was
6
fine
out of 10. I think it's all right.
There you go. See,
A 6 out of 10 is not good.
I mean, it's better than, it's like average, right? It's better than average.
Average would be a
better.
7 out of 10.
I guess if you're looking at it grade scale wise, that's
I
not
am.
usually what okay. Well, in your eyes, fine. Then sure. B. I'll do letter grade then. B-.
Okay.
I agree with John.
So there you go.
Okay.
Completely different context right there. Look at that.
It's like the same. I don't know.
No. If you say, "Yo, I give this show a B- compared to saying I gave it a 6," that is that's a pretty big difference, right? Or no? Do people feel different? Okay, maybe that's just me.
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll come in at a solid B. How about that? Right there. Solid B. Solid B.
I give it a 6 out of 10.
There you go.
But it's like better than average.
I'm just being stupid, Jesse. I don't care. I don't know. Whatever people want to give it, whatever you feel it is, that's fine.
Well, I'm not saying it directly correlates. I'm not trying to get the grading scale out here. I'm just saying.
It was a fine presentation. We'll just say fine. It was fine. It was fine. I did want to bring this up because OJ said he finished watching it. I watched all the way through it. The Fallout series. It took over the internet there for quite a while. People were pretty happy with it. And I think people were more surprised than anything else as to how well it turned out. The season 2 has been greenlit immediately.
Yeah, because we had a ton of drifters online that were trying to destroy the show before it even came out. So that's why there was some extra surprise. But yeah, it was a lot of grifting videos from the usual suspects on like how it's this or it's that. And I'm just like, let's let the show come out first. Then we can talk about what's bad or good, you know? At least from what they showed, they didn't show a ton of it. They didn't show a lot of it beforehand, you know? Like they weren't like showing off so many different, they showed like a few clips. There was barely anything on the show. Like they didn't show a lot beforehand. So
very, very good show though. I recommend anyone who has Amazon Prime or you have Prime Video, I recommend going to watch it. It's 8 episodes. Technically each episode is 45 minutes to an hour long. So it's a little bit of time there to get through it. But as soon as you get through episode, I'm going to say 3, it starts to really grab you and kind of pull you through it.
And
so
the episodes are longer, but they don't feel like when you're done, you're like, oh, that's it. You know, like it's very easy to binge it because of the way that it's structured. So, you know, I'm not in love with Fallout, like the games, but I do like the lore. Fallout lore is great. Games can be hit or miss depending on how you feel, you know, but the lore is fantastic. It's very feasible. It seems like it could be feasible. Not really, but kind of, you know, with like nuclear wars. So it's cool. So if I were you, like, even if you haven't seen this, like, or played the games, I still think that it's worth checking out, but I would say be a little bit familiar with the concept of, you know, of Fallout. But yeah, it's great. Now people are playing the games again, you know, so that's good.
Do you get a chance to watch it all, Josie?
I didn't. I thought it was going to be bad. I'm going to be honest.
Wow, okay.
I just thought the concept is interesting. Like it wasn't something that was for me, I guess. But then I'm hearing all this like amazing stuff about it, so I'm definitely gonna watch it. I just haven't had time this week, so I'm trying to hopefully do that next week. But it sounds from what everybody's saying, I'm very pleasantly surprised. So I'm definitely gonna check it out.
It starts off. I mean, it starts off like in terms of being compelling series. It starts off a bit. I don't say it doesn't really start off slow, but
a little slow. You
don't get connected with the characters as much until like episode 3 or so, and then they start to throw in some mystery and stuff that gets you to the finish line. But when it really hits, you start just, okay, I'm gonna watch the next one and it's done. But
the characters seem boring. They seem boring, you know, at first. They just seem, you know, boring. They don't seem like there's very much, except for like the ghoul, right? Except for the ghoul. He seems okay.
Yeah.
He seems pretty cool, but like it takes a little bit of time for you to really warm up to Lucy and who's the Brotherhood dude? Maximus. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time, and then once there's a certain thing that happens, and then you start to see maybe who he is, and there's a really cool cameo from like not cameo, but there's another really cool like great actor that a certain part happens. I don't want to spoil it, and then it's like then Maximus's part really that's where it took off for me at that scene. I think John, you know what I'm talking about, right? But yeah. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, wow, this is really starting to take off. But yeah, it's a little boring at first, but then it kind of. You know, it kind of.
I like Lucy was a good main character to follow as well. Like it was fun to see the differences between the different characters and how they were brought up, like the worlds they were brought up in. And whenever they shifted from the vault to the wasteland, the vault had this weird, happy but creepy vibe to it. Yeah. Where it's like it was almost like this weird suspense thriller kind of thing going on, but then above in the wasteland, it was just straight up shootout all the time. So.
And it's cool with the show because of how they intertwine the past with the present. They do a great job with when they show you what happened. Sometimes even I don't want to spoil it again, but there's some one time that they really intertwine it like super cool. It's very, very, very well. I was like literally shocked at how well they did it, and the acting in there is just it's superb. Like the acting is so good, you know, really, really good acting, like high quality acting. Everybody feels like they really earned their part in that show. So yeah, I really, really enjoy it. And it's the most I'll ever talk about a show for the most part. I don't usually, I mean, I watch all like the video game adaptation stuff, but I'm usually not big into it.
Did you watch Halo?
I did, but I stopped watching it.
Yeah,
it sucks.
well, that's why I wasn't interested in Fallout in the beginning, because I was like, another FPS.
No, the Halo
I
shows.
don't know if we can adapt these kind of things. Maybe
Halo
it's just
show's
not
terrible.
adaptable. But yeah, no, that's why. That's in the beginning I was like, I don't care.
Yeah,
but now,
yeah.
all the greats, you know, it seems like really cool, and I'm like very pleasantly surprised by how good everybody's talking about the actors being, because I've heard that all over Twitter too, which is like I think such a problem with like shows right now, especially on streaming services. So
yeah, the Ghoul steals the show, man. He's fantastic.
He's very good,
yeah. He's fantastic in there.
Everyone was good though. Like everyone acted well. It was a good show. I completely recommend it. Josie, if you get a chance, watch a couple episodes, see what you think.
I will.
But it seems to have compelled people to go out and buy Fallout, as in the UK with in Europe actually, which is some of the sales data that came out. Fallout 4 jumped 7,500% to the number one spot from this show specifically. And then Fallout 3 was in the sales charts, Fallout 76. So people are buying the games.
Yeah.
And I will admit, I downloaded Fallout 76. I was like, I'm gonna go check this out, see what's what.
I ain't going that far.
I will check out the Fallout 4 update when that drops, though. I will admit, I scrolled past Fallout 3 and I was like, maybe.
I mean, it's pretty. They did enhance it a lot. So Fallout 3 is way better.
Frames and everything now,
yeah. From when I played it, man, it was the crustiest game. I mean, I liked it. I 100% achieved it back in the day, you know. But man, that game is crusty as hell. Like it crashed, it glitched, it just, man, it was. Oof. But yeah, they fixed it for the most part. So enjoy, all you people playing it now at this point.
It's a lot better now, yeah.
Yeah, it's way better. Yeah.
Shout out to Fallout. I'm looking forward to season 2. So exciting stuff. Left off on a good cliffhanger too. So everyone's happy, everyone's excited, everyone's ready. So
fantastic ending. Fantastic end for the loved it.
Avoid Twitter, Josie, for anything Fallout related though, because someone will spoil.
Yeah.
They're gonna start spoiling it now.
Yeah,
they're gonna start spoiling it pretty soon here. So
and I did have a discussion topic I wanted to end off on here, as I then also want to go through all the super chats and stuff too, that were here, memberships. But this is interesting because this came up and I've been hearing this, I feel like, for a couple of weeks now. And I decided I'd run a poll on it just to see. I mean, you know, I'll ask Twitter, see what Twitter thinks about this, or X.
It's a good idea.
Hey, I was always
solid think tank over there.
Always
brilliant
people
coming together.
Over there. Yeah.
Always got to get the X opinion on these things, you know. Always got to.
What kind of cross section we get? Like 500 people.
always got to check. So shout out to
sliver.
people actually right now watching over on X. But I did ask if does it feel like gaming is in a bit of a rut at this moment? And 61.8% said yes. So there was a majority saying that yes, that was the case, and that was on almost 9,000 votes for it. And this was prompted because I do look around at times, you know, just online and stuff, and there's some people I talk to offline who are really not as plugged into gaming, and they'll just buy games here and there, and sometimes they'll ask me about different things because they're not following the news. What, you know, is this any good and stuff? And I gotta admit, I was a little surprised. One of them is very much into Final Fantasy VII, and they have not picked up Rebirth yet. And they're just like, I'm just playing Fortnite right now. That's like it. It's like, oh,
same.
Really?
No,
that's all. It's like, yeah, that's all.
I don't blame you. I don't blame them though, man. There's a little bit of a lack of, I don't know, just like it kind of ties in with MV. Did you guys see MVG's video that he did about
with the recent one about the older games,
why they're better?
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it kind of ties into that. People are getting tired of like the bullshit, you know, like the BS with the new games. It's always multiple deluxe, this. They're just, everything feels like a PC port, a bad PC port, or not as good as PC. You know, everything feels like it's just not built for the system. It's not as exciting. That's just some of the things that I noticed, you know, with it, which is I think maybe why MVG didn't include Switch in his video. But regardless of it, Nintendo's not even really putting out a bunch of hype stuff because they're getting ready for the next thing. I mean, they've got a few different things. So there's just like a lack of, I don't know, I would just say a little bit of like excitement, just a console gaming scene at least, you know.
Yeah. Well, I also feel like there's a big issue too with just like companies not wanting to take risks anymore because everything's so expensive that if you have a flop, it's really bad and it can tank your whole company. And I think that harbors something where it's just like you're making games out of fear that they're really good instead of out of maybe like excitement for a new type of thing, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're not seeing enough like risk with like the bigger games.
Big innovations. I feel like. I mean, like we've had a few in the last couple of years, but like at least right now, like it feels really samey. It's a lot of sequels. It's a lot of remakes. It's a lot of old games, which is good.
Yeah.
But like, where's the new stuff? That's what's going to get people excited to play this generation of games, right?
But that's the thing, because the rut is coming from the big companies. Like it's one of those things where it feels that way because the games that are being advertised, you feel like you've seen before, you feel like you've played before. There's tons of games out there that you probably haven't that are within the indie variety, but those don't usually spend money on advertisements. No one really knows about them. No one really sees anything different. No one gets excited for that. But like the companies with the money's not always intelligent. Money usually just looks for patterns and runs in circles, chases its own tail, which is why Ubisoft games all feel exactly the same. It's why like everything just feels exactly the same. You think you've got one thing that's always going to work, and you just kind of latch onto it and hope it doesn't seem to hold.
What you just said, Evan, is very reminiscent of like, or kind of like symptomatic of what happened early in the year. It's like, okay, we've got Like a Dragon, we've got Grand Blue Fantasy, we've got, you got all these games that are coming, but it's just kind of like, yeah, just a lot of sequels, a Persona 3 Reload, all stuff that we've already played or just kind of done again. Final Fantasy, like it's just
a lot of the big companies are like, let's just reboot our old games and bring them back because they did well before. They can do well again. And that's adds to it, I guess. It's just, I don't know. It's just the way the current system and structure of all of it is, and just people being unwilling to go explore new avenues, and also consoles kind of shutting down most new avenues a little bit by not allowing a lot of stuff on it, or just holding back in some ways, or basically preventing developers from wanting to put stuff on there because of, having to put out patches, make sure everything fits, having to go through that whole process. They just stay away from it usually.
I mean, I think it's a combination of things. Like people I noticed in the comments as I'm going through them say that they have a lot of stuff they're playing right now. But I also understand that the part of the excitement comes from what's coming up. It's like a combination. It's like what I'm playing now, I'm having fun with, and then I also have stuff coming up. And honestly, the industry does run like 80% on just hype for what's next.
Yeah,
and if you're a company, I think they must love it. You have to love it because it's like people are just ready for us to announce something and they're ready to come give us money. But it does run on, you're right, hype cycle. So when we're at this point now, which I think a lot of this is we're between Nintendo's next system, like we're kind of waiting now, and obviously they have 3 games coming up, but it's like, I mean, Endless Ocean, it looks fine. I don't think I'm gonna see it on the news as like smashing sales records. So, what I mean? It's not something that's like really, really exciting. And then you got 1,000 Year Door, which is cool, but it's from the GameCube, and we're gonna have Luigi's Mansion 2 from the 3DS. So we're in this lull kinda for before Nintendo's announcement, and then we're waiting for Sony to have a showcase so they can actually announce first party titles. And Microsoft is kind of just hanging out for the second half of the year when they'll have some actually pretty big games of things like Indiana Jones, Avowed, and the next Call of Duty. So I kind of think that's what it is. We're in this time period just before we would have events happen over the summer, and honestly there's no E3, so I think that also plays into it. Like we'd think, okay, well, E3 is obviously coming up, but it's not. So now we're like, oh, I hope these companies do something. We'll see. So
it might also be a little bit on content creators in general. I mean, because if you think of the tone of the Switch 2 and what people usually say for that coming up, it's always the idea of keep your expectations in line. Oh, maybe this report's not right. Well, maybe we'll see it, but who knows? Whereas with Nintendo's the NX rumors, it was just like going constantly. Oh, guys, you hear about the RAM? Oh, the RAM.
That's true. Like, we were getting a lot of stuff was hitting
way too hyped then, whereas now it's like, hey, just hold down a little bit.
I think whenever Nintendo starts moving on it, I think it will kind of turn into that a little bit again, where just honestly a lot of publications are going to start scrambling for behind the scenes news because they'll start figuring out who has development kits and who's working on games, and they can just start kind of poking and prodding for that info. But right now, it's just, I'm sure there's, Ubisoft or whoever, who apparently that's where a lot of leaks come from. But like a lot of NDAs are really locking these companies down right now. So waiting for Nintendo to make their move. And a lot of people are hoping it's soon so we can actually talk about this device, whatever it is.
Yeah, we need something tangible though, because like the hypotheticals is just annoying at a certain point.
The rumors of just this and that, and yeah, like Nintendo obviously brings a different aspect to the whole thing. So if they're not talking about the big new whatever, Zelda or Smash or Mario or this or that, then it's obviously that leaves a little bit to be desired for some. But that doesn't mean, I want to make sure that I say this, and I think none of us are saying this, but people kind of confuse like, oh, there's nothing to play. No, there's plenty.
Oh no, there's plenty of stuff to play.
Yeah. There's plenty to play. So there's plenty of games. I'm playing I finally got time to play Unicorn Overlord now, and that game's awesome. I'm playing way more of it. I put like 20 hours plus into it now. So like there's plenty of games to play.
Yeah, I just think view it like people look at the game industry in terms of the continued hype cycle thing as, okay, we're in a rut because it's not turning like it did maybe last year at this time or something, right? So, but it comes in waves. I'm sure next month or something we start hearing rumors, and all of a sudden everyone's excited again. So it's just you can kind of, it's weird. You can kind of feel like the excitement, or in this case being in a rut maybe. Like you can kind of get that feeling online if you look around. So I will go through some of the super chats that are here. Josie, anytime you have to take off, just let me know.
Okay, I might kind of zoom right now. I'm very sorry.
That's fine. You're good. You're good. We were doing a shorter show tonight anyway. So do you want to let everyone know where they can find you, Josie?
Yeah, I mean, at Josie Woe on YouTube, I just put out a video about Zelda hot takes. I think it's really fun if you're a big fan of Zelda, or if you're not, check that video out because it's kind of funny. Just don't freak out because they're not all my opinions. But yeah, thank you for having me. This was fun, and check out Game and Talk.
Bye, Josie.
Bye.
All right, let's see what we have here as we round out some of the super chats. Let's see, we have Rufflemud, who says, how do you think Sony will react when the PSP and PS1 and possibly PS2 emulator hit the iOS with the PS Plus service? Will Sony and Nintendo take action? I don't think so. Because you have to provide a BIOS for it, for any of them, I believe. So I don't know if there's much Sony will do with that. I mean, these things exist on Android. They would have taken action a while ago. Wizzy says, how's everyone doing tonight? Doing well, Wizzy. And then Wizzy says they'll pay you $2,500 to fight them in a mud pit with nothing but boxers on.
I'm only seeing $5 there. That's not enough.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you need to pay me. You know what I'm saying? You can go over to the channel,
briefcase,
drop the 2,500, and I'm down. Let's do it.
OJ streams every day.
I stream daily. Tomorrow. I'll be playing Uden Chronicle on PC. And we'll be hanging out. So feel free to drop that. You said 2,500. It's going to be 5,000 total. So go ahead and drop that deposit tomorrow.
Unit drops this week, doesn't it?
Yeah. I got a preview copy. So.
I was going to check that out. I think that's going on Game Pass even. Check that one out.
Although there might be a little bit of a beware. There's been some comparisons, and I don't know if they did the best job with the console version.
Oh, interesting.
The PC version looks like great. HD 2D, but like the PS5 version looking like maybe they just made like a base Switch version and then ported that over to everything. But once again, there could be an update. There could be something that fixes that. But yeah, I did see a post. I don't know if I bookmarked it, but I'll send it to you if I can find it.
Okay, I will look into that. Interesting. Yeah. Z says, what you think Intelligent Systems has been working on?
Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I think there's a Fire Emblem coming out this year. Yes.
It's like, what do they always work on? Fire Emblem.
T-Joe says, did you see the Smash 3DS DLC was fixed? I did. It'll be in Newswave on Monday. Thank you, T-Joe. They actually worked to bring the spotlight to that, and Nintendo did resolve it. So good news there for everyone on the 3DS with Smash. Good news. Tim Allen became a YouTube member.
I love that show. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. We have Medallion also becoming a YouTube member. Shout out to Medallion. Wizzy says, I print out my trophies to pin them on the fridge.
That's like next level nerd. It's the ultimate red flag.
Xera says, Sean watching John suddenly cares. There's someone's there to defend themselves. I was about to say something pretty serious about Ryan there with his all platinum account. I wanted him to be here to explain himself. Tim Allen asks, anyone on Spawncast going to buy Topspin 2K25? I will.
Probably John.
I would pick me up. I will. Yep.
That's
I will
a
be
John
playing
game.
Topspin. It is. I like
$20 special for me. It's a $20 Wario 64 2 a.m. special for me.
Topspin games. I like my virtual tennis games. Yes, sir. I would play those. unless the reviews come out and it's absolute like trash. It's like
frames
what
skipping
happened here?
everywhere, horrible mechanics.
Like, you remember when Madden 2006 came out on the 360 and it was one of the worst? It was like the terrible bear. But if it's like that, I'll pass on it until.
I remember I was excited too, and I'm like, what is this trash? I just bought Madden on the PS2.
Yeah, it had like exhibition mode and that was it or something. It was crazy.
Like no modes, and it didn't look anywhere near. I mean, it didn't look anywhere near as good as what they tried to show, which obviously it wasn't, but it was a pretty big step down from what they showed at first. So
let's see, we have Orange-tastic. Orange, yeah. Thought new 2D Batman game, graphics like Metroid.
I think it's Orangestic.
Orangestic, thank you. They did have a 2D Batman game.
they did. Armature made it, I think.
Yeah, I remember that was a fun game. I feel like if they went with more of a budget behind it, they could do a really good one, because I'm seeing these 2D games. Unfortunately, a lot of these 2D games, they're just not, I feel like they're not selling enough to attract some of these big publishers. Like Prince of Persia, great game.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunately, it's just the sales aren't there for it, which is real unfortunate, because I would like to see more of them.
Mm-hmm.
Truly Epic says Josie should host the after show while RGT is out.
Well, she's out
Talk
too.
to her about that. Chris says Nuggets game is insane. Love you guys. No, I've not seen what's going on with the.
They said they won.
It's tied up.
Oh,
wow! People in chat were yelling that they won. I don't know.
It's the right now that it says it's tied up, so it's probably like a good back and forth game right now. Yeah, it's a good back and forth game. So,
Casual Noob Gamer says OJ grades his presentation 6 out of 10 pianos.
Yes.
Minato Mario says with Fallout TV series, this shows the video game adaptations are better as TV series or anime series. As for video game movies aside, Mario movie, we still have to wait. I do like the idea of these things just being series that Amazon, Netflix, whoever just buys up, and they give them 8 to 10 episodes to take their time telling the story and introducing characters.
I agree. I'm more of a fan of series than I am like just movie adaptations.
Yeah, I feel like with a movie and a video game lore, and they're like, you have 2 hours or less to tell the whole thing, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
it better go fast.
It works for Mario because Mario doesn't have anything, story wise. Like, they made up crap for Mario, like his family and all that. What the hell? He never had all that. So they just made stuff up for Mario. Yeah. So, and even then, it was still a short movie, So so it works for that. But yeah, stuff like it kind of worked for like Uncharted, but like. Not really. I didn't like the Uncharted movie that much, but yeah, for like games, especially for something like Fallout, yeah, I think you need a bit more time, right? Like The Last of Us, Fallout, you need a bit more time than 2 hours.
I can't imagine that Fallout series being crammed into a 2-hour movie. No, that would be
it wouldn't even
impossible.
Work. Yeah, it wouldn't even work.
Not at all. All right, that is. Oh, let's see. Hellman says used to have 9 people on. Ever since Spawn, we've expanded the show, has less people. This I will tell you, this was a strange night, a strange day, as everyone had, I'll just say, some random act that hit them, and they're like, I can't be there right now. So not common, but next week, well, actually, Sean did let me know about the NBA playoffs. He's like, once the playoffs start, you might not see me Saturdays at all. So I will say, Sean, basically his plan today, and he said it on X, was to sit in one place for 13 hours and watch basketball. So he's probably still in that place right now.
My stupid Bulls, of course, they lost to the Heat without their best player. They lost by 20 points without the Heat's best player. They suck. No. I can't stand them. Freaking trash, dude.
Well, always next year. Look at that way.
Yeah, I can always reminisce about Michael Jordan. Watch the documentary again. Good times.
Good times. Well, everyone, thanks for joining us tonight on the Spawncast. I'm going to go around here. OJ, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube, Player Essence. Dropped a video this week talking about 30 of the best single-player games on the Nintendo Switch. RPG stuff. So if you're into that, check out the channel. I also stream daily as well, pretty much. We're streaming tomorrow, playing Eden Chronicle 100 Heroes on PC, and we're going to be talking about different stuff as well, getting interaction with you guys. So if you want to stop by Player Essence, feel free to do so tomorrow, like midday-ish, whatever. At some point, you'll see the post or whatever. So,
Piano Essence.
Piano Essence. I actually got pretty cool backgrounds for like my own streams. They changed quite a bit. People put in suggestions, so we change. We go all over the place. So.
Okay. Shout out to somebody donates to you. They can change your background.
Yeah.
As long as it's like safe background, safe for work.
Yeah,
PG backgrounds.
Yeah, PG. I can't be having certain stuff. You know,
None of that weird Italian government meeting background.
What about Evan? Where can everyone find you?
You can find me here on YouTube at Kimmerix Project, or pretty much any social media at Kimmerix Project. We do tabletop stuff. I'm going to be doing a bit more hobby videos these next couple of months, so they take forever to make. But yeah, and then hopefully we can get back to strategy and game previews and stuff like that.
Okay. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time with more people. Okay. We'll see you guys then.